Good morning, students. In today's lecture, we will discuss annihilator of a module, then faithful R modules, and a theorem related to cyclic modules. So, first of all, we define annihilator of a module. Let us take a module M over a ring R. Then, the annihilator of this module M, that is the set consisting of all those elements R of the ring R such that Rx is equal to 0 for every x belonging to the module M. These are the elements of Rm. So we can say that the annihilator of module M is the set consisting of all those elements R of the ring R such that Rm is equal to 0. This is called annihilator of module M. Now, we proved that the annihilator of module M, that is an ideal of the ring R. In order to prove ideal, first of all, we will have to prove that this is a subset of R. Then we will prove that it is non-empty, and then we will prove the conditions of ideal. Now, by definition of annihilator of module M, because it consists of all those elements of the ring R such that R into X is 0 for every X belonging to the module M. Because this is containing the particular elements of the ring R, so we can say that that is contained in R, because the elements in the annihilator, they are coming from the ring R. So first condition, we have proved that annihilator of the module M is a subset of R. Now, next to show that it is non-empty. Now because 0 element belongs to the ring R and 0 into X, that is 0 for every X belonging to the module M. So this condition is satisfied by the 0 element of the ring. So we can say that this element belongs to annihilator of M, and therefore annihilator of M is non-empty. Now let us prove the conditions of ideal. In the first condition, we are to take two elements R1 and R2 belonging to annihilator of M, and we are to prove that R1 minus R2 is also an element of annihilator of M. Now by definition, if R1 belongs to annihilator of M, then R1 into X is 0 for every X belonging to the module M, and also R2 belongs to annihilator of M. So by definition of annihilator, R2 into X is 0 for every X belonging to M. Now to prove that R1 minus R2 belongs to annihilator of M, we have to prove that R1 minus R2 into X, that is 0 for every X belonging to M. So let us find R1 minus R2 into X. This can be written as R1x minus R2x, because M is a module over the ring R. Now from here, R1x and R2x both are 0. So R1 minus R2 into X, that is 0 for every X belonging to M. So by definition, we can say that R1 minus R2 belongs to annihilator of M. Now, in the next condition, let us take an element R belonging to annihilator of M and an element S belonging to the ring R. Now because R belongs to annihilator of M, so by definition, R into X is 0 for every X belonging to M. We are to prove that SR and RS both belongs to annihilator of M. So let us find SR into X. Now this can further be written as S into Rx. Rx is 0. So SR into X, that is 0. And this is true for every X belonging to the module M. So by definition, SR belongs to annihilator of M. So this proves that annihilator of M is left ideal of ring R. Now to prove it a right ideal of ring R, let us find the value of Rs into X. Now because Rs into X is same as R into Sx. Now S belongs to a ring R, X is element of module M, so S into X belongs to M. And because we have taken R belongs to annihilator of M, so R into element of module, that is equal to 0, and this can be written as Rs into X. So Rs into X is 0 for every X belonging to M. So this proves that R into S belongs to annihilator of module M. So this proves that annihilator of M is also right ideal of the ring R. So we can say annihilator of module M is an ideal of the ring R. Now, next to define faithful R module. Let us take M is a module over the ring R. Then we see that module M is faithful R module if the annihilator of module M, that is 0 of ring R. Now our next theorem is M is a left R module, and we are to prove that M is faithful R by I module. Here I is annihilator of the module M. Now by definition, annihilator of module M, this is a set consisting of all those elements of the ring R for which R into M is equal to 0 for every element M belonging to the module M. And we already discussed that annihilator of a module is an ideal of R. So we can say that I is an ideal of ring R. Here I is annihilator of the module M. And because I is ideal of ring R, so we can say that the quotient ring R by I exists. Now, according to the requirement, we are to prove that M is R by I module. So, according to the conditions of module, first of all, we will have to check that M is abelian group under addition. Now, because we are given M is left R module, so by definition, M is additive abelian group. Now we are to define the scalar multiplication. So let us take an element from the ring R by I. Elements of the quotient ring are of the form of cosets. Let us take R belongs to ring R. Then R plus I is a coset belonging to the quotient ring R by I. And let us take an element M belonging to the module M. Now we are to define the scalar multiplication of elements of R by I with elements of M. So R plus I into M we have defined as Rm, because R belongs to ring R, M belongs to module M, and M is left R module. So R into M, that belongs to the module M. So we have defined the scalar multiplication in this way: R plus I into M is equal to Rm. Now we are to prove that under this definition of scalar multiplication, the four conditions are satisfied, which we prove in modules. In the first condition, we take two elements from the ring R by I and one element from the module M. So let us take R1 plus I and R2 plus I, two elements of the quotient ring R by I, and element M belonging to module M. Let us find R1 plus I plus R2 plus I into M. Now by definition of addition in quotient rings, this R1 plus I plus R2 plus I can be written as R1 plus R2 plus I. Now by definition of scalar multiplication from here, R1 plus R2 plus I into M, that can be written as R1 plus R2 into M. Now R1, R2 are the elements of ring R. M is element of left R module, and because M is left R module, so R1 plus R2 into M, that will become R1 into M plus R2 into M. Now again, from this definition, R1M can be written as R1 plus I into M, and R2M can be written as R2 plus I into M. Now in our next condition, let us take two elements M and N from the module M and R plus I belonging to the quotient ring R by I. Let us find R plus I into M plus N. Now again, by using this definition, this can be written as R into M plus N. Because M is a left R module, so R into M plus N can be written as Rm plus Rn. Now again, by using this definition, Rm can be written as R plus I into M, and Rn can be written as R plus I into N. So this proves the second condition. In the third condition, let us take two elements R1 plus I and R2 plus I belonging to the quotient ring R by I, and M belonging to the module M. Let us find R1 plus I into R2 plus I into M. Now this can further be written as, by using the definition of multiplication in the quotient rings, R1 plus I plus R2 plus I, that can be written as R1 R2 plus I, and this M as it is. Now by using this definition of scalar multiplication, this can be written as R1 R2 M. This can further be written as R1 into R2 M. Now again, by using the definition of scalar multiplication from here, this can be written as R1 plus I into R2 M. And again, by using the same definition of scalar multiplication, this can further be written as R1 plus I into R2 plus I into M. And the last condition, if the ring R has unity element, then 1 plus I into M. Here 1 is unity of the ring R. 1 plus I into M. Again, by using the definition of scalar multiplication, this can be written as 1 into M, which is M. And this is true for every M belonging to M. So we have proved the conditions for being a left R by I module. So this proves that M is left R by I module. Now it remains to prove that M is faithful R by I module. To prove M is faithful, we will have to prove that the annihilator of module M, that is the 0 of R by I. The 0 of R by I is I. So we have to prove that annihilator of module M, that is I. Now let us apply the definition of annihilator of M. By definition, this is a set consisting of all those elements of R by I such that R plus I into M is equal to 0. Here, this M is arbitrary element of module M. Now by definition of scalar multiplication, R plus I into M, that is Rm. So R plus I into M is equal to 0 means Rm is equal to 0. And if Rm is equal to 0, it means R belongs to the annihilator of module M, which we have denoted by I. So we have proved annihilator of module M over the ring R by I, that is the 0 element of R by I. So this proves by definition that M is faithful R by I module. Now, next we discuss a theorem related to cyclic modules. So our theorem is R is a ring with unity. Then we are to prove that in R module M, is cyclic if and only if M is isomorphic to R by I. Here I is some left ideal of the ring R. So first of all, let us take M is cyclic R module. So by definition of cyclic R module, M is generated by single element of M. So there will exist an element X belonging to M such that M is generated by X. Now because R is a ring with unity, so we can say that from here M is equal to Rx. Now we are to prove that M is isomorphic to R by I. To prove this, we will use fundamental theorem of homomorphism of R modules. And for this, we will have to define a mapping F from R into M. And we will have to prove that this is onto homomorphism. Then we will find the kernel of this homomorphism so that we can apply the fundamental theorem of homomorphism of R modules. So first of all, we define a mapping from R into M. Let us take an element R from this ring R and X belonging to M. Then R into X, that will be element of Rx, and Rx is M. So we have obtained an element Rx belonging to M. So we can define the mapping F by F of R is equal to Rx. Now we are to prove that this mapping is homomorphism of R modules. So in the first condition, let us take two elements R and S belonging to the ring R, and we find the image of R plus S under the mapping F. By definition of mapping F, image of R plus S under the mapping F, that is given by R plus S into X. Now this can further be written as Rx plus Sx. Rx is image of R under F. Sx is the image of S under F. So our first condition for homomorphisms is proved. In the second condition, let us find the image of Rs. R and S both are the elements of R. Now by definition, image of Rs under F, this is Rs into X. And this can further be written as R into Sx. Sx is the image of S under F. So both conditions for the module homomorphisms are satisfied. So this proves that F is the homomorphism of R modules. Now next we prove that F is onto mapping. To prove this, let us take an arbitrary element Y belonging to M. Now because M was cyclic, so M was is equal to Rx. So Y will be of the form of element of ring R into X. Element of ring R we have taken as R. So we can write Y is equal to Rx. Now because R belongs to the ring R, and if we find the image of R by definition of mapping F, image of R under F, that is R into X, and R into X, this is Y. So for Y belonging to M, there exists an element R belonging to the ring R such that Y is the image of R. So this proves that mapping F is onto mapping. Now let us find the kernel of this homomorphism. Now let us take I be the kernel of this homomorphism. And by definition, kernel is some module of R. And because I is left ideal of ring R, and we already discussed annihilator of an element is left ideal of ring R. So we have obtained I is left ideal of ring R because I is the annihilator of X as shown. By definition, I is kernel of F, means the set of all those elements of ring R whose image under F that is 0. It means R into X is equal to 0. And by definition, we can say that annihilator of element X is I. And annihilator of an element is left ideal of ring R. So we have proved I is left ideal of the ring R. Now we are in a position to apply fundamental theorem of homomorphism of R modules, because we have obtained a homomorphism from R into M, which is onto and homomorphism, and I is the kernel. So by fundamental theorem, R by kernel is isomorphic to M. It means R by I is isomorphic to M. So this proves one of the parts of the theorem. Now in the converse part, we are given that we have a left ideal I of the ring R such that R by I is isomorphic to M. We are to prove that M is cyclic R module. Because these two are isomorphic, so in order to prove that M is cyclic, we can prove that R by I is cyclic. Now because we are given R is a ring with unity, so unity element belongs to R. So we have denoted it by 1. So 1 plus I belongs to R by I. Now if we take an element A, which is a 1 plus I, and R plus I belonging to the quotient ring R by I. Now R plus I can be written as R into 1 plus I, and this can further be written as R into 1 plus I. 1 plus I is A, so R plus I is the form of RA, and because R belongs to the ring R, so R into A, that is the element of RA. So we have shown that if we take an arbitrary element R plus I belonging to the quotient ring R by I, then that element is belonging to RA. It means R by I is contained in RA. And similarly you can prove RA is contained in the quotient ring R by I. So we have proved the quotient ring R by I is equal to RA, and RA is generated by the element A, and because it is generated by a single element, so we can say that R by I is cyclic R module, and because R by I is isomorphic to M, so we can say that M is cyclic R module, and this completes the proof of this theorem.